Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Hodgett, CEO of Serabi Gold, and it's the usual disclaimer, so I'll leave that for your perusal when we get the presentation. It's on their way, I think. Right then, so Serabi is an AIM and a TSX-listed company. Our two main assets are in the Tapajós, which is in the state of Pará in northern Brazil. You can see there, we have one producing asset called Palito Complex, which has been pretty much steady state production now for around 4 years, producing near 40,000 ounces there or thereabouts. This year we're sort of very much on guidance to continue that level of production. And our other main asset in the region is Coringa, which we acquired from Anfield Gold, which they morphed into Equinox Gold around 18 months ago. And certainly Coringa is very much like a Palito lookalike. It's a very similar sized deposit. Certainly we think it'll be a very similar scale operation. We've just completed a PEA which came out just about 10 days, 2 weeks ago for Beaver Creek. It's 8 grams, just like Palito. It's going to produce around 40,000 ounces. There's around $25 million capex to build. And as I say, it's going to be about a 40,000 ounce production. So we certainly see ourselves going to 80 to 90,000 ounces in the next sort of 2 years or so. Just a little bit about Tapajós itself. It's a big artisanal gold field. We're the only hard rock producer in the region. It's supposedly produced something like 30 million ounces of artisanal gold, and say we're the first hard rock producer there. Just a little bit more detail. That's the Tapajós there, and that's the red polygon. Palito, which is our current operation, it's around a 400,000 ounce resource. We're mining at, say, 40,000 ounces per year. Just to give you a bit of an idea about the type of deposit it is. It went into production back in 2003 as an Australian junior, produced something like, with a maiden resource around 400,000 ounces. There's been about 300,000 ounces now produced, and we've still got 400,000 ounces of resource today. So it's a vein swarm, which obviously I don't think resource life and is the key here. Coringa, a very similar type of deposit. Certainly we feel it is. We've just saved just a PEA on that, and some nice numbers for us. This is our forecast going forward. To say we're at 40,000 ounces, and that's our pathway up to 100,000 ounces. Palito, as I say, has been producing about 40,000 ounces for 3 or 4 years. You'll notice in 2020 we're going to do a little bit more. I'll come on to how we're going to do that. And you can see in 2021, Coringa will kick in and will grow our company. With the PEA we've got, we certainly think we can probably improve on that. We've obviously, when we did our study, we basically made it very much and minimised the capex to an absolute minimum there, which would be about $25 million. We think we can actually improve on that. Okay, major shareholders. Something's going to strange there. Okay, we've got 2 major shareholders, Fratelli and Greenstone. They're both represented on the board. There's our main board, myself here, my CFOs here as well. And so our 2 main shareholders are represented on the board. Looking at Palito in a little bit more detail, again, you can see the Tapajós there. Palito being the asset in production, the top red polygon, Coringa down there at the bottom. Palito's in production, as I say, Coringa in development. It's got a lot of stuff there. I mean, certainly Anfield, which are the previous owners, they bought a process plant, they bought a lot of equipment, built a camp, advanced the project a lot, to continue drilling, more drilling from Magellan about the asset before. So it's a well understood deposit, pretty advanced, and is now just in the permitting stage. A little bit more about Palito itself. We've got about 30 odd veins like that on the left hand, the top photograph there. Very high grade fractures or in granite. There's very little wall rock alteration. So the key to these deposits is really mining them as effectively and selectively as you possibly can. So dilation control is absolutely everything. We've got a process plant which is, it's actually plant constrained. We can do about 500 tons per day. And one of the questions might be, well, why don't we just expand the plant? It's a good question, but we're in a part of the country where power is, we have grid power, but it's not the best. So definitely, and certainly from an environmental perspective, Small scale, small footprint, quality is really key. So we decided around 18 months ago to start doing test work on ore sorting, and we tried all kinds of different approaches. And certainly using the fact these ores are, you can see there in the second photograph, pink granite, waste rock granite, very high grade sulfide hosted gold veins. Atomic density and X-ray is a very effective way of actually separating the ore from the waste. There are two rock types here. It literally is ore and waste. Now, being a plant constrained operation, to get the waste out before the process plant is obviously key. So we did a lot of test work, and ultimately, on the bottom right-hand corner, you can see we bought an ore sorter. It's now being commissioned. And certainly, the situation we have today is probably even mining these deposits as well as we possibly can. There's still probably about sort of 100, 150 tonnes per day of granite waste going into the process plant. So the use of this ore sorter is not only going to remove that, which is going to save around $1 million a year in process cost, it's more importantly, it's actually liberating about 20% capacity in the plant, of which we can actually feed more. So we're mill constrained on plant, but not mine constrained. So certainly we can add more high grade ore and certainly get our plant, that little plant there, producing 50,000 ounces instead of 40,000 ounces. And that's pretty important because if you look at these stats here, what I like about these stats is they show good consistency for a single operator, a small single operator. You can see on the top left-hand graph, we're producing 10,000 ounce quarters and have done for about the last 12 quarters on the bounce. The grades and tons of grade are pretty consistent on the right-hand side. Grade is consistently around 7 grams, 7 to 8 grams. The all sustaining costs, we're basically coming in at about $1,000, $1,100 an ounce, and that really is a function of our scale. We're only producing 40,000 ounces. We can produce more, and obviously with the ore sorter, we think we can get about, say, another 10,000 ounces through per year. That's going to reflect very nicely in those graphs next year. The ore sorter should be operating from Q1. Now, Kariga is about as close to the deposit as you get to Palito, as you can imagine. It's 200 kilometers down the road, so there's not going to be any direct operational synergy, but it's a very similar deposit. So we've just done a PEA, which came out, say, about 10 days ago, so we obviously had great cost data, and certainly it's a deposit that's going to require exactly the same mining approach, the same geology, it's the same process, so certainly I think we're well placed, and obviously being in a region of Brazil where we're dealing with the same agencies that obviously have to give us our permits, and I've been dealing with a sort of a relationship with Brazil for the last 10 years. I think we feel we're in a good position to actually get Kariga permitted as quickly as possible. We actually did submit an EIA, which was approved in January this year, but unfortunately timing was not kind to us. Between getting the EIA approved and our public hearing, we had the Brumadinho Dam failure, which was not kind to us, so we quickly cancelled the public hearing, and we've since resubmitted the EIA 2 weeks ago, including filtration and dry stacking, so that's the obvious solution to that, and hopefully we anticipate getting a public hearing in the next 2 months and a preliminary license, the key license we hope to get by the end of the year. And there the summary of the PEA. The actual study will be out in about about a month's time, but the numbers are, they're pretty much what we expected. They're certainly nice for us. Base case gold, we still get a 31% IRR, and certainly at today's prices, we're through 50%. It's a very, very tiny project for us. We've got a resource there of over 500,000 ounces. We've got 280,000 ounces in the mine plan, grades over 8 grams, good mine life, 40,000 ounces, and the capital is around $25 million, and the all-in sustaining is about $850. Now, those costs were pretty much based on Palito numbers. Palito is a producing mine, say 200 kilometers away, so with a 20% contingency on those costs, we certainly think we can eat into those costs, certainly on the capex and on the opex. That's the timeline going forward. As I say, the PEA is completed. We've submitted the new EIA. We do hope to get our LP by the end of the year, maybe into next year. And we've already started work on basic engineering with a hope to actually having the LI or construction license by the end of the second quarter next year, with the intention of starting to build. And we can certainly put mine into certainly start constructing the plant second half of next year, around about 12 months to build, having just built Polito about 4 years ago. We're quite confident of that timeline. One thing that we can do is start the mine today. We actually do have, it's funding independent, but we do have the mining license to start the actual underground mine today. The advantage of doing that, of course, it'll help obviously expose the ore body. We feel, it's going back to the PEA, these numbers do assume the deposit can be just like Polito. We feel there are areas we could basically semi-mechanise this mine, which will obviously optimise the mining plan a little bit. And I think most importantly, with the great results we've got with the ore sorter at Polito, we don't see any reason why we shouldn't sort of consider that here at Coringa as well. The plant here, which is already on the deck but ready to be constructed, has got much more capacity, so it doesn't actually need an ore sorter. But as I say, why process waste rock if you don't have to? It's all about margins. We're not just about the Polito deposit and the Polito operation and Coringa. Back to Polito itself, that's the tenement. The red polygon there is the tenement of the Polito licensed area. We in the last 18 months we flew an airborne survey of the whole area, which was a great thing to be able to do. And the green areas you see there is where we did follow up around geophysics afterwards, obviously focusing around two producing areas, the two mining licenses, Polito and Sao Chico. It showed up a really exciting magnetic anomaly. That big east-west trending anomaly is probably most likely to be an ultramafic of some form, which is pretty interesting. And it's drawn the attention of, I'm sure everyone knows that we've got groups like Anglo-American and RTZ around the area looking at, certainly in the Alta Floresta belt, there's been some porphyry discoveries, and certainly people are now looking at Tapros in a similar way. So we've enjoyed the company of some of those companies, and certainly one of the ideas we're looking at is seeing if we can actually get some joint venture on the regional exploration. It's the sort of thing that a company of our size probably can't take on, but if we can do that, certainly one hopes it could be a good relationship where they're looking for bigger opportunities, and maybe they'll throw some of the small fry back to us, which would be great for us. Polito itself, that's what it looks like, a cross section. It's a stack of veins, they're subvertical, they're typically half a metre wide, they go to a metre. Usually grades are quite extraordinary sometimes. They can be 20, 30, even 100 grams per tonne, but typically about 15, 20 grams per tonne. Hence by the time we mined it out about a metre wide, we end up with an 8-10 gram head grade. That is just a bit of showing an IP of Polito, probably that slide's better. You can see there that the actual resource is, this mine they started with 3 veins and now it's 31, and every time I go there there's sort of 2 more found, so the veins just go on and on and on. It's, they're not 100% payable, it's a case of just drilling, getting underground, chasing veins. You drill for structure and you drive for grade, that's the saying. So we've actually traced the 30-odd veins over something like about 1 kilometre. So that resource of 450,000 ounces is over 1 kilometre, but the actual veins have now been traced, some of them over 4 kilometres. So the takeaway from this is I think there's the likelihood of running out of resource here is probably unlikely. It's just basically keeping control of the costs. Over to Sao Chico, which is the other satellite in the Polito complex. Again, we're mining a small deposit, but over in the bottom left-hand corner of that yellow polygon, but we've got some really nice looking IP anomalies there, which we just actually found in the last 3 months, so we're going to be drilling those this next 3 months as well. So again, the organic growth in and around Polito and Sao Chico is really very high as well. Coringa, well, we've got a 500,000 ounce resource there, which we're trying to permit to get into production. But it doesn't stop there. I mean, the deposit has an 8 kilometre long Coringa on it, and it's obviously very mature compared to Polito, but I think there's a hell of a lot of upside there. So we fully expect this deposit to turn out to be very similar to Polito. In terms of our value, there's a number of metrics there to show what good value are, enterprise value per resource, reserve, and grade. So, and compelling reasons, I think, to say, well, we're good value. And just to summarise, I've pretty much said we're 40,000 ounces. We're very confident we can be up to sort of 80 to 100,000 ounces in the next sort of 2 years, our share price, we've certainly enjoyed a good run of late. We've gone from about 25 pence in the spring, we're now trading just over 80p. So we're certainly enjoying a good run at the moment. Thank you very much.
Obviously, for power constraints, selling some sort of power, solar, or wind.
Well, we have. I mean, I think what we have. I suppose when I say power constraint, I mean for us in ways it's not. We produce about 2 megawatt hours. We need about 2 megawatt hours. When we can't use the grid, we actually use diesel, which it's not a big cost. It's not a big cost. Don't use them. Don't use them.
It's a 5 ton a day operation.
It's a 5 ton a day operation, so it's quite.
But it is something.
But it is something.
Top Dan's in your example.
Top Dan's in your example. Looking at. That's something they're looking at. I know, and I think
it's certainly something that unlocks.
We certainly haven't looked at the region. We certainly haven't looked at
solar or hybrids and solar or hybrids.
We're actually discussing at the moment. We're actually discussing at the moment with Greco. We're doing like a combined solution.
Karinga actually is a little further down the line,
and it's actually has a much better power supply. So
it really affects Polito
more than it will affect Karinga.